Do you have the courage to care? University of Western Sydney's Challenging Racism project in 2006 surveyed 4,010 Australians on their racism experiences and anti-racism attitudes. The results, released 2 years ago, concluded, and I quote, "About 1 in 10 Australians have very problematic views on diversity and on ethnic difference. The separatists and supremacists are a destructive minority." Australians were evenly divided on whether or not Australia is weakened by people of different ethnic origins sticking to their old ways, and whether or not Anglo-Saxon Australians were privileged. Encouragingly, over 80% of us said all races are equal. Cultural diversity is a good thing. Overwhelmingly, Australians surveyed want action against racism. In 2009, Deakin University and the Foundation for Young Australians released a study into the impact of racism. Their findings included: youth from all cultural backgrounds will experience racist behaviour. Perpetrators of racism may come from any cultural background. Youth are concerned about witnessing racist behaviour. There is a statistically significant decrease in health or well-being for those who experience or witness racism. University of Western Sydney researcher Jacqueline Nelson says while multicultural events, concerts and award programs have helped to redefine Australia's national identity, education and training is important. Courage to Care educates young Australians about the dangers of racism. Holocaust survivors and their rescuers, known as the Righteous Among Nations, use their personal stories to explain the roles of victim, perpetrator and bystander. New South Wales Chairman Andrew Havas explains.
Really using Holocaust survivors' stories as examples, and in that way Courage to Care empowers its participants really to take positive action and in relation to discrimination and bullying in any form at all, either in the schoolyard or in the workplace. And the single message is, don't be a bystander. You see something wrong, go about and do something about it. We've been going for 13 years at the moment. In that time, we've had 170,500 people through the exhibition, including 71,500 school children that we have paid their transport costs, and they've experienced a 2-hour workshop. It's been a wonderful, uplifting experience.
Gingy Horvath says the children receive an introductory talk and watch a DVD on racism upon arrival. They are then guided through a World War II exhibition.
It's not a historical exhibition per se, but it's an exhibition that tells stories. It sort of shows discrimination, but it focuses really on the acts of individuals that saw the discrimination happening and chose to take action, chose to help other people, often at risk to themselves, but really sort of the focus is on the rescuers. After that, students have a chance to listen to what we call living historian, a survivor from the Holocaust or a rescuer. They tell us a positive story. They share the experience of how they survived as a result of the support and help of others, and of others who chose not to, stand by and watch what happened, but to actually help them.
Andrew says trained facilitators lead the third and most important part. How is this relevant to me? What can I do today in my life?
There's a large A3 coloured picture of 2 birds, 2 seagulls, one black, one white. The 2 seagulls are fighting in the middle. Lots of bystanders don't want to get involved. Lots of birds flying around on the top of the picture. On the right-hand side, in front of the picture, some birds that want to break up the fight. And there's a major discussion about who are you? Are you the person that would break up the fight? Are you the person who would be the bully? Are you the person who is being bullied? And then they talk about different ways of approaching that.
Have you had any feedback from bullies, young or old, who've been changed by the program?
We've had profound things happen. We've had an entire class, many times that I have witnessed how an entire class has apologised to a student for years and years of bullying. We know that we have prevented self-harm, and we've passed that on. We're not in that business, I have to point that out. We've pointed out where students have come forward and have said that they are possibly thinking of something along those lines, and we have then obviously handed that back to the principal and to the school to deal with. But many times students are not even aware that they are causing distress to other students, that they are actually, just by some of their actions, by saying some things, by precluding them in Facebook and things like that, that they are not even aware of the actual hurt that they are causing to other people. And their intent is really to plant a seed in their mind that there are other ways of behaving. Another example, a student radio interview recently, what did you get out of the exhibition? Big pregnant pause, and I thought, well, he's not going to say very much. And he said, look, we were on the bus took us 3/4 of an hour to get back to the school. When we got back to the time to go home, normally everybody just pushes and shoves and rushes. We were all sitting there, and the interviewer said, well, why did you do that? What do you think, And he said, we were all being considerate for each other. Now, it would probably never happen again, but the thing is that for that instant, they just realised that there was another way of behaving.
ABC News presenter Jeremy Fernandez recently tweeted about his Rosa Parks moment. On a bus ride with his daughter, he turned around to ask the young girl seated behind to stop clipping his daughter on the head. He received 15 minutes of abuse from the girl's mother. Jeremy drew inspiration from Rosa Parks to remain in his seat after the bus driver asked him to move.
We come across a lot of things, but that sort of thing really did quite surprise me, I have to be honest with you, but I think he did a marvellous job in standing his ground, and I think that obviously the bus driver, I understand, was a state government bus driver, really needs to be retrained. And we do have, by the way, invite people to come to, like we've had the NRMA here in New South Wales, we've got the Community Relations Commission people, some of the council people have actually put their staff through a program, and we've developed an adult program at the moment.
Sadly, it is a needed program.
Yes. Well, to be honest, I'll be frank with you, I thought that they would have a use-by date of 3 to 5 years when I first thought of putting the program together, and obviously 13 years later on, it's even in much more demand.
By special invitation of the Brisbane Catholic Archdiocese, Courage to Care will visit Brisbane in May. 153 schools will be put through the program, and it's anticipated that community groups and the public may view the exhibit on some evenings and Sundays. Details are yet to be finalised and will be announced closer to time. This is Shirley Way for Brisbane Line, 4ZZZ 102.1 FM.